Cheers. Out of celery hit me in the eye.
Too much celery.
Boys and girls in that Technicolor rainbow in between. It's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And Mr. Petty. Damn it, Rick.
Really.
What up?
What up? Every time.
All right. So as you all can see, we are doing this
via satellite
because of the obvious instance where COVID-19 has affected the lives of everybody in the United States. But we're just doing it where nobody's worried, nobody's concerned. Not.
I thought we were doing this because we hate each other.
I kind of hate a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
Really, guys? Really?
I mean, I'm sorry, dude. You know I've always hated you for a while.
It's gotta be honest.
Can't tell. I can't tell. But yes,
I'm tired of being around all those stinky ass beards.
He just mad.
He's just mad because you can't grow a beard, motherfucker.
He just mad. He just mad because his don't connect.
Exactly.
Listen, leave my Joe Dirt beard alone.
He's bald here and here. I'm all right. I'm done.
We are doing so. Please, so everybody out there, we appreciate you tuning in with us. Please bear with us as we go through this process and make sure that we still provide you with great content week to week. And let's just get right to it. So first things first, church announcements.
Yeah, there ain't none. It's coronavirus, people.
We're gonna church announcements.
Stay your ass home, wash your hands, and continue to look on blursandwhiskey.com for more old shows and get your merch, even though it's probably going to take you about like 20 years to get it. Support our show.
also, follow me, #Camism, all one word, the actual word hashtag and Camism on TikTok, because I will continue to make skits and TikTok videos detailing my life working with the coronavirus and the public, working retail, because I'm one of those essential necessary businesses that need to keep running.
Yeah, so am I. I'm definitely still working. I'm out here in the trenches.
I'm wearing gloves every day.
Making sure people get the packages delivered. I'm always delivering something. Yeah.
The work is not stopping me as well. I have to clean the transportation in DC, so it's never ending. Pray for me, guys. Pray for me.
I'm a teacher. I ain't doing shit. I was working out like I'm in prison.
Get that quarantine buff.
Exactly. But it's so funny how this is a drastic change to the quality of life for everybody right now. So
maybe for y'all, I've always stayed home. I'm broke. I have no car, so
that's it.
I'm always home.
But let's go ahead and talk about our drinks of the day. Of course, we can't do one. I'll start off first. I've got Ocean Organic Vodka, and I've decided to combine that with some Tabasco Bloody Mary mix. I don't know what's up with my background, but it's only barely working. So I'm drinking a Bloody Mary. And
why does that vodka bottle looks like one of the bombs from Assassin's Creed?
I'm about to say it looks like
it's like a potion.
It looks like a mana potion. It does.
Yeah, like he's going like he drinks it and he all of a sudden he gains like a couple of hit points back.
Yeah, and the horsepower on this one is 80 proof, so it's pretty good. It's a tasty beverage.
Yeah, I'm drinking moonshine that a friend of mine made. It's 180 proof.
Why does it look like you're drinking pool water?
It does look like pool water.
It looks like a revive from Fortnite.
It's good, very good. It's actually a blueberry lemonade moonshine. It's really good, and I'm about to get fired up for this episode. Yeah, so
clearly.
Okay.
So I'm drinking Old Granddad because, like I said, I'm broke and liquor stores are running out. So I figured more bang for your buck. So I got a handle for like $20. It's definitely point A to point B. 80 proof, I believe. It's out of glass. That also like enhances the alcoholicness. I don't understand the science behind that. Maybe EO could tell me later on. But when you drink out of a flask, it definitely hits harder. The burn is there.
Nice. So, because I have the Infinity Gauntlet here, like Thanos, I believe in balance. So I'm drinking Tito's, which is a 40 proof, I believe. Yeah, it's 40% alcohol by volume. I'm drinking Tito's and green tea. Then also I have something here for balance. It is a Blue Moon iced coffee blonde beer, because you can't just have hard liquor without bouncing out without a beer. So I'm keeping myself even.
That's where the bloody from my Mary came from.
I'm about to say, yeah, you can. You can always drink hard liquor straight and just be fine with the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or is that just me? Oh shit.
I think that's just alcoholics.
I'm sorry. I have no soul.
Man.
I'm sorry. I had to say something though, because like I said, both Trey and I I work with people all the time, and I've been seeing a lot of news articles about blaming millennials for like spreading the coronavirus even further, like not following curfew or staying indoors. Like, first of all, I'm out there, so I see who's out there. Most millennials, I'm one of the elder millennials. I'm almost 40. Majority of millennials are like 30, like late 20s is the youngest one. Like none of us are in college anymore. A lot of us got mortgages, houses, jobs. Some of us are balding. Like it's just a whole bunch of things going on. So the people that you're seeing out there, the kids that you're seeing that you're blaming on millennials are actually Gen Z. And who else do I see out here not caring, just walking all out and about, all willy-nilly, like, oh, the streets are clear now. I can go out in public now, is a bunch of boomers. Most of my customers are boomers.
Who's around me right now?
Asking how I work email. You came all this way through everything just to ask me how do you work your email? That's why you're here.
Oh my God, I do not miss that job.
but that's what I'm saying. Like when you go to the grocery stores, who's making the biggest noise about stuff being run out of stock?
Boomers.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Right. I do. So I've been to the grocery store several times this past week. You know what I mean? Just because I gotta accumulate shit. But and every time I go in there, like at one point I went to a store close to me, and they were limiting how much toilet paper and how much paper towels you could take. Right.
So Karen was not having that.
This old boomer Karen, of course, she gets up to the register and they're like, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you can only have 2 of each." She goes, "What do you mean I can only have 2 of each? I'm going to pay for all of them." And they're like, "No, we have to keep the supply for other people. We have to consider other people." Yep. This woman takes 2 big packs of toilet paper and throws them back behind her.
like a strongman competition, like she's throwing a keg
right.
or rock or something.
Right, like she's throwing a keg. She just throws the shit to the back of the store. We're like, what the fuck, lady? Like it's not that serious. Just
Karen bad.
Pay for your 2 packs, then go outside and then come back and get the other 2, dumbass.
Like what's wait here in a ponytail, leave, take your hair down, and come back again.
Mr. Petty said it. Mr. Petty had the best line, and I use it continuously. If sense was common, everybody would have it. So yeah, a lot of people.
Hey, but let me ask you one question, Rick. When you saw how far she thought, were you impressed by like the trajectory?
I was impressed. I was impressed by her point. I was like, look at her blasting those quads. She's got better quads than Vince McMahon.
Did she do the turn? She was engaged her core before she threw.
She did the full on bend down and
right.
Wow. I was like, wow. Look at Hagar go. Look at Hagar go.
She's the principal from Matilda.
Miss the rat's gonna die today.
So checking the comments real quick. Reviewing what we did. Latrice Copeland asked what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Bloody Murray.
Christmas says millennials are 30 years old and are the responsible ones.
Man,
right.
Check my Twitter, and if you don't follow me, check Mr. Petty. He retweeted it. I have a whole tweet about that.
Yeah. And my mom said that's because a lot of boomers are trying to feed you millennials and Gen X's, even though. Oh wow! Oh, she's throwing shade. Really? Really?
I'm about to say she's throwing shade at you from the next room over.
I have my own place now. Thank you very much. I moved.
Hey, but I just
I
want
go
to
see
know.
my grandma. Anyway,
I just want to know what the hell does the toilet paper have to do? Oh, it's like a virus that's tearing up your immune system.
It's not about the virus that people are grabbing toilet paper. It's the fact that it's running out. So therefore, the panic of it running out makes people want to buy more or their own stock of it because it's running out.
It's just stupid.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle thing. Like,
it all sparked up by the fact that people thought somebody made an announcement that we're going to run out of toilet paper, and everybody went to buy out all the damn toilet paper
because somebody said that toilet paper comes from China.
So everybody's sitting at home with like mountains of toilet paper in their house. I can't wait for.
Remember, I actually seen a video where this guy went through like 4 safes, and the first thing that he pulled out was toilet paper.
So I share my
Yeah.
Amazon account
Yeah.
with my family, and all I'm saying is mad bidets have been.
Dog.
Yo, I hope people
Dog.
understand you can't just use a bidet. You still have to wipe when you use a bidet.
Thank you.
They
Unless
don't
it's
get
unless it's one like the super powered like, but they
Yo, you were
3000s
blowing
with
that
like.
much trash.
if it's one of those if it's one of those Australian bidets, you're gonna be clean, but you're also gonna lose your sack.
There is no
Oh,
shortage.
God.
There's no shortage on
like a
flushable
speed bag.
wipes.
Just... oh man, wow, this subject.
Mason said, plus if you want to have quarantine supplies, why not rice, canned foods? People have weird priorities. Yeah, you're absolutely right. People are.
You cannot wipe your ass with canned foods.
I mean, you could. Man, I just wouldn't
It's gonna hurt.
I mean, physically, you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, I don't recommend wiping your ass with canned goods.
Yeah.
So we are going to keep things going in order like we usually do. We've got our wrestler of the week, as always, Triple H, the game comparable. One of the most he's a blue chip Hall of Famer, as JR would like to put it. Guaranteed to be in the Hall of Fame in a few years, but whenever he officially retires, that is. But he's too busy running the whole company. But
the
way his ass works out, he's never retiring.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I say, like, can you imagine him being all fake surprised? He's like, next in this week's inductee for Hall of Fame is me.
I've already been here 5 times.
He's getting that call.
Exactly.
When he's the one that's making the call. Hey, Hunter. Yeah.
Actually,
What are you going to do? You're inducted into the Hall of Fame. Oh, really? Yeah.
Hey, Trey, he actually is in the Hall of Fame because DX already went in last year.
DX.
Yeah.
The clip is going in now.
Clip get in?
No, the clip didn't go in. It was Hall and Nash and NW. Well, no, NWO wasn't. It was Hall and then Nash.
This year. They're going in this year.
So he was never NWO.
Yes.
And
they did Evolution.
This pedigree is just.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
God,
honestly, I think that Triple H has one of the most devastating moves in all of pro wrestling.
It's extremely
it's just that one. It's just that one.
Especially when people fuck it up and jump too high and they spike themselves.
Those
are always my favorite.
Yes, it's amazing. So
it's definitely well protected. But yeah, keep going about Triple H being wrestler of the week because we all know why. Finish because we can't wait for it.
You want to talk about that now?
Well, no, I mean that's what I was talking about, like how he like single-handedly made SmackDown 10 times better with no audience. Because there's a difference between like last week's SmackDown and the current week's SmackDown. Without him, it was just Michael Cole.
It's just awkward.
Yeah. But you see, they pulled him off. They need to have him on each show.
Right.
God,
he's hilarious. He's genuinely a funny guy.
Yeah.
So they play him up as the boss, as the bad guy a lot. He's a heel. He's a great heel. He makes you hate him, but he also makes you crack up laughing at the same time. So to me, he's one of the best wrestlers.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, we watched SmackDown live with audience, and they had to fill in with like previous wrestling stuff. They've done like Raw live, and that's 3 hours, and they also doing like previous wrestling stuff.
They're doing the Royal Rumble.
How are they going to do like WrestleMania, which is roughly okay? So I heard they're going to break up in 2 parts though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
It's also very, very so about it being 2 days. The 2 days part is cringeworthy in itself, but then the fact that Grunk is hosting is even more so cringe. Like I don't know if anybody has actually paid attention. If anybody, I know Herb has probably paid attention to him, but Trey and Cam, have y'all actually paid attention to Rob Gronkowski outside of football?
No.
He's like in shape Fred Flintstone.
He's a frat guy.
You mean Fred Durst? You mean Fred Durst?
No, I mean Fred Flintstone.
No.
Limp Bizkit.
Like he's a Cro-Magnon man. Like I swear to God, his knuckles should be dragging on the ground. Like he's a big dumb. He's just a big dumb animal.
So they was accurate in that episode of Family Guy when they had him on there.
Hold up.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Very.
There was
I mean,
he played himself. He played himself.
Wow.
He walked.
That was
I don't
actually
know.
him?
Like he if you looked at him, how he came down the ramp just this past week, just like I'm just big fat guy.
No, I mean like
Gronk smash.
This is the thing. This is the thing that's going to be really awkward about wrestling in general. Like wrestling needs audience to react to. Like
absolutely.
And so when wrestlers like when like Gronk made his entrance and you're like he's trying to like hype the crowd up. What crowd? When he like when Daniel Bryan comes out when Daniel Bryan and Drew came out and do the yes thing and nobody was yesing with him. Like y'all remember when Stone Cold was like, y'all want to know what 316 days all about? Give me a hell yeah, and it was nobody. And then all of a sudden, Byron Saxton says, and then Austin just looked at him like, I regret coming back.
I've never seen Steve look so. I've never seen Austin look so defeated ever.
But like I said,
he looked like a broken man at that point.
Yeah, but you know who I think,
and he actually did break himself because he got hurt.
Guys, you know who I think is doing the right thing right now in this time, in this crisis, in this pandemic, is AEW. They had their roster in the audience, so they had the heels on one side, they had the faces on the other. And they were cheering and booing, so you at least got some type of reaction to.
Shout out to MJF.
Like I say, how you gonna have a heel turn with like nobody like to react to boo to? So it's like all it really is just a guy just beating the crap out of another guy. But
exactly. So hopefully WWE takes their cue from that because AEW's killing it. They're killing it in the ratings. Their acquisitions are pretty good because we also saw the acquisition of Brody Lee, aka Luke Harper, and
the Exalted One.
He came out as the Exalted One. We also knew what was happening with Matt Hardy after the whole Randy Orton thing.
Wonderful.
Hold on, but did anybody? There was something special about Brody Lee that nobody really noticed, and we've actually not spoken about this. But I just wanted to see if anybody was going to bring it up before I brought it up. Did you guys notice that he shaved and he actually looked clean?
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah,
yes.
It's just like he's the Exalted One.
He didn't wear a dingy shirt at all.
Right, and he actually trimmed down his beard. His beard didn't look like it was a chick's bush from the 70s. Like he just
God, dog.
Ew. Wait, come back. You're in this to the end. You can't go nowhere.
But I did want to point out the fact that because if you guys did listen to Jericho's podcast, what's his name? Matt Hardy did point out the fact that the reason why he left is because Vince was basically running the show. It's either Vince way or the highway, as he likes to put it. And he was like, if Triple H was running the show, I definitely would have stayed. And just to know, like, hey, I know that he's not going to listen because he's in his own little world. But Vince, you're losing actually good wrestlers because you're just stuck in your own way. And
you know what?
He don't give a fuck about what we think at all.
I'm gonna stop you there. I'm sorry. I might be going a little tangent. I'm gonna stop you there. It doesn't matter. Whether if you lose Matt Hardy, he loses Randy Orton, he loses there's all look every you and I both know that WWE is the pinnacle. Like it's the top. Like every wrestler, no matter how much they hate their job or hate wrestling, they like the paycheck, they like to get the fame. Like AEW is great wrestling. Ring of Honor is great wrestling. Impact right now is great wrestling. New Japan is great wrestling. But at the end of the day, we're all going to watch WrestleMania. We're not going to watch whatever AEW's pinnacle episode is going to be. Like, I mean, honestly, did you really watch Slammiversary when TNA did it? Did you really watch Starrcade when WCW did it? No, you watched WrestleMania, and that's just like it's the end all be all. Like, no matter how much we dislike it or how much we say we're not going to watch it, I still have the network. I'm still going to watch it. You're still going to watch it. We're all going to watch it begrudgingly, hate it. It's a cycle thing. But at this point, most of us aren't even wrestling fans. We're WWE fans. So that's a whole. I'm sorry. I'm a shut up. But that's just like
you're just spot on. You're spot on.
Yeah.
By the way,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. As much we're gonna bitch. We're gonna bitch. We're gonna complain. We're gonna moan about it. Everybody hates Vince's decisions, but like you said, we're all gonna keep on doing it. I'm gonna keep on using your network password and watching WrestleMania and all of the pay-per-views. Thank you, sir. And yeah, I mean, it's just it feels good to bitch about it in the moment, but it's almost like a drug addict that doesn't have any willpower. Yeah, I'm complaining, I'm a bitch, and I don't like it, and it's hurting me. But guess what? I'm going right back to when it's
right. So I'm gonna get another fix Monday.
Look, we're all gonna be at fucking Summers if we can ever get out of the house ever again. For Royal Rumble, counting down and shit, acting like we're surprised when certain people don't come out, even though we knew it wasn't gonna happen. So it just is what it is at this point, and we all just gotta have faith. We all just gotta have faith that at some point Harambe is gonna reach down from heaven and snatch Vince's soul out of his body. Take him out of here so we can get some good wrestling.
Really?
What?
Harambe?
Hey, listen,
Girl of Monsoon.
Two claps for Harambe.
You got your Jesus, I got mine.
Stop. You're not doing that. No, stop.
Somebody has like an air compressor or something in the background.
Oh my God.
Goes off. I need y'all to
Praise Harambe. Praise
has
Harambe.
Hold on.
No.
OCG says somebody got something going on in the background.
Somebody got like an air compressor or something. Keep hearing this hum come in and out from.
Please.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
That is our off-camera guy.
As he's way off camera. That's the one in the corner. Oh, he's not even on there. But yeah.
No, he's not on there.
So from Wrestler of the Week.
Now you got people in the comments saying, "Paul, praise Harambe."
Yeah.
Hey,
praise Harambe.
Dick's out. Dick's out.
Really a thing. No.
Trey, we're gonna convert you to Harambeism soon.
Bullshit.
Right.
You're gonna go ape shit.
No.
But
you know what? Because he gave himself up for you, Trey.
No, but there's actually something that speaking of wrestling, there was something that kind of came up recently, and I shared the link of it because Vice does a really good show called Dark Side of Wrestling.
Yes, it does.
And they did one on a name
Bruiser
that they did Bruiser
Brody.
Brody. They've done Bruiser Brody. They've done Fabulous Moolah. They've done Indie Wrestler, but this particular one is a very polarizing. Yeah, he's a very polarizing name in wrestling because you got some people who are
Benoit.
You got some people, I'm not gonna name names, but last name proper, who still hold him at high regard.
Hey,
listen.
Hey.
I posted a picture of him on my Instagram that said Father of the Year.
I used to say that when I used to rap battle as a punchline, like Chris Benoit's a better father than you. But
nice.
But he got some ooze. But it's just such a
it's an eye-opening experience. Is what
they try. I mean, in all actuality, like I said, they're doing a white people thing where they like to humanize a killer, but at the same time, it's like I'm sorry, I can't. Like I'm a fan of his work ethic and everything he's done. By the end of the day, I'm sorry, he's still a murderer.
Well, his son said it best. If at WrestleMania, was it WrestleMania 30? Not 30.
It was 20. WrestleMania 20.
It was WrestleMania 20.
If they had both retired right then after that, that'd have been the perfect ending to that story. Unfortunately,
you know what though? His son also said though that him and his brother's dream was to be tag team champions.
Man, dude, I'm sitting in. I was in my car.
And who took that away? I feel bad for him, his son, because the oldest son right now looks smack like him.
He does. He does
smack like him.
Did he
like
change his last name? Is his last name still Benoit?
Yes, it is. He actually wants to have his name as Chris Benoit Jr. if he ever goes professional. But it's just the fact that he won't, even if he's a great wrestler, let's say he's the best that there is, they won't let him in WWE because of his father's name.
Right.
Just because.
So I have not watched it yet. I've actually been holding off on watching it because Chris Benoit was one of my favorites. Like when I first actually really became the wrestling fan that I am right now, that's one of the first guys I saw and I was like, God damn, he's a hell of a worker. So it's like I'm holding off on it because I know it's gonna be like an emotional pull for me.
Man, you have no idea, dude. You have literally everything we discussed is nothing compared to when you actually watch it. And you also watch it. And
that's the thing. Like I've never actually watched a Bruiser Brody match, but just watching that Vice episode about the documentary of his death and him working in Puerto Rico, that drew some emotion out of me. So I know that this one is probably just going to take me right over the edge.
Dude,
man, I'm trying to tell you, I was driving.
Eddie, just that part alone.
Yeah, that's all you got to
Yeah,
say.
their names are intertwined. So whenever you mention the Chris Benoit tragedy, you have to mention the Eddie Guerrero tragedy because they're all intertwined. And it's like they went into like they're so intertwined, and people try to use that as an excuse. And I'm sorry, there's no excuse. Like people lose, people die every day. B. Like there's no excuse to like go off like that. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people will try to do is they try to humanize a killer. They do it with serial killers. They do it with like psychos and rape. They do it Netflix documentaries. I know people who study psychology, and all they do is they do nothing but try to like make Charles
sense
Manson
out of a tragedy. Yes.
Yeah, try to make Charles Manson look like a charming guy. Like, oh, he was so cute. He was so charming. He was a psycho.
Or Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Dude.
And people were like, oh, well, women looked at him like a sex symbol when he was being brought up on all. Fuck all of that. He's a murderer. He bashed a girl. He bashed a sorority house full of girls' heads in with a log. The man is a murderer. Stop trying to humanize these monsters.
I mean, it's still
so
like I said, the show is interesting though.
I agree, but I don't want you to. You said that I hold him in high regard. I actually don't. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, for the longest time until I heard the news about his whole brain thing, you know, he was a monster to me just like everybody else. I do appreciate the work that he did in the ring as a wrestler. Yeah. He was one of my favorites, but I do know I'm like Paul Heyman. 3 people died that night, and only one person had a choice about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you know, like I don't think that he's happily enjoying his afterlife right now. Put it like that.
So it's very tragic, and I mean, it's just the fact that yes, CTE is a fucked up thing that people can get with all the wrestling, but it doesn't. You can't humanize a murderer. It's you can't. It's a terrible thing. Don't get me wrong.
People have used CTE. People have used steroid abuse. People have used the business and the psychological abuse of the business. They put all these different avenues and things to like try to like justify what happened. And like I said, like, look, I've heard people say stuff like, I mean, like, you know, it's been X amount of years. Are we not over it yet? Can we just put him in the Hall of Fame already?
15,
and that makes me so angry because I'm over here like
he could never go in the Hall of Fame.
No,
y'all really want to glorify a killer so much, like just because it's controversial. But
that's the I mean, not to try and deviate too far from the topic, but that's the same shit people try to pull with slavery and civil rights and Jim Crow era. Oh, it's been so long. Are we not over it yet? Are you fucking kidding? Or they try to pull the same shit. Or they try to pull the same. Like I just finished watching Hunters, so this is fresh in my mind. They try to pull the same shit with the Holocaust. And it's like, oh, Jewish people just need to get over it. That was so long ago. Are you fucking? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You got a point.
What is in your head? What do you mean, get over it?
Yeah,
Chris. You also have, and I'm not excusing it at all, but you also got to realize we live in that type of culture where people want to move on from things. If it doesn't directly affect them, they're like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't care about it. It doesn't affect
me. I just feel like
we live in a culture where people want the easy way out.
No, I feel like we live in a culture where people want to do the shock value of like just to say something so they can be shocking, so they get the attention. Oh, yeah. Wait, did you just say that? Like, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. Like now.
So you're saying everybody wants to be Howard Stern?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because of social media. Everybody wants to be Howard Stern. They want to get the most likes, the most shares, whatever. Granted, we're talking from a platform where we want that to happen.
Well, listen, everybody wants to be everybody wants to be Howard. Everybody wants to be Howard Stern, but everybody don't want Howard Stern's life.
No,
exactly.
Howard Stern's been divorced, and Howard Stern has been fired several times.
Yeah,
you don't want that shit.
But off camera.
Jamaica says Rick for president.
Yes, and real quick, whoever has their phone on vibrate, put it on silent, please. Because
I think I just moved it off the table. I think it's my phone. I'm sorry.
So off camera guy. I think it's time for another segment.
Yeah, we got to move on. So
God damn.
So how are you guys feeling about your personal space?
Oh,
everybody gets stepped up.
How have you been enjoying your self-imposed quarantine social distancing?
Oh, me personally?
Yeah. Oh, everybody.
Well, we know off-camera guy's enjoying it. He has family.
I say this is his life normally.
Right.
What life?
Right. He just like I know. See, I can tell you because I know because we all know off-camera guy personally. So we know like at work he's like grinning, bearing, like people being like in his vicinity. But like now that this thing's going around, he's all like, "Hey,
personal space.
I gotta close the door. Hey, send me an email. I'm right across the room. Send me an email."
Personal space.
I actually. So I haven't been to work all week, of course. It was fucking teacher. But
what is that?
I actually.
What is that?
Who's got a
Who's
cow?
around me right now? Who's around me?
I hear it now.
Okay, now I hear it too.
So I actually went out on a hiking date the other day, just because I needed to get out of the house. So I went to a park close by, and I went on a hike. Now, here's something that happens to when you haven't been out of the house in a while, and then you start doing stuff. So the woman that I was with, she didn't have any pockets. So I had to put her phone and my phone in my pocket, along with her car key and my car key, right? So we're walking, we're talking, we're engaged, everything's going good. It's a great time, right? So we walk about 4.5 miles. So then I realize, I've handed her a phone because she wanted to take a picture of a frog that she saw because her dog likes frogs. So I hand it to her. We keep moving. We go. And then we get to the end of the trail, and I go to feel my pocket. I'm like, oh shit. And she goes, what? I dropped my car key. So I'm like, oh fuck. And she was like, oh my goodness. Oh, she starts panicking. I'm like, and so of course I got to be the big strong man. I'm just like, oh no, it's fine. We'll find it. Inside, I'm fucking losing my mind. I am fucking falling to pieces. So then I'm like, all right, we'll just find it on the way back down the trail. So we walk back the 4.5 miles down the trail. Don't see the fucking key. Don't see the key at all. I'm just like, oh, maybe I left it inside the car. Get to the car. Nope, it's not there. So I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Let me just walk back down the trail. Let me see if I can find it again. I had to walk back to the end of the trail, and there, sitting in the middle of the path, is this goddamn car key. So, yeah, I walked about 12.5 miles that day. So,
what did you learn? And what did you learn?
What did I learn?
Black people don't hike.
No, then I'm gonna start carrying a lanyard when I hike.
No, I mean, like that was a terrible takeaway.
No, I'm claiming that shit. We don't hike.
Off camera.
Niggas don't hike.
Off camera guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mute that guy. Hey, let's go ahead and get character of the week out here, man. Because that was a good one.
Niggas don't hike.
I mean, me personally, I don't hike, but I know black people that hike.
The Petitron 3000.
Listen, I'm gonna get you two big niggas out and active.
I'm pretty active. I just don't.
Character of the week. Today's character of the week is Exo, Man of War. So recently, Bloodshot has a movie coming out, and the reason why we're choosing Exo, Man of War as a character of the week is because he was part of the vast, very, very vast universe of Valiant Comics. Before, some people want to think of Exo, Man of War as a great value version of Iron Man, but here's where they differ. The character's real name is Auric of Darcia. Basically, he's, I want to say, not a caveman, but like a barbarian who fought on the impressive rule of the Roman Empire. A man forged in battle. He was captured by the aliens, basically known as the Vine. So under the oppressive rule of the aliens, he formed a, I guess, resistance, and they decided to do like some sort of mutiny or take over the ship. He found one of their ancient weapons, or what he thought was an ancient weapon, turned out to be one of their greatest weapons, which is a suit of armor, a sentient suit of armor. The suit was named Shanhara. It was basically like a prophecy of some sort, where their greatest triumph or greatest battle would be won with that suit. And now that a human is wearing that suit, that kind of put a kibosh on their prophecy. Now, something time paradox. But anyway, while he was on this ship, apparently he was basically like on the ship for roughly like 1600 years or something like that. So he escaped and was in what's known as present day time. Now, the thing about X-O Manowar or Valiant Comics is that all their characters are so intertwined with each other that to go into more history of X-O Manowar is to pretty much go into Valiant Comics as a whole. So you should look up certain comics called, like one on the Valiant Comics called Unity, which is kind of like their go-to guide or beginning origins of the universe as they delve into more serious and one-off characters that they have. Such as Bloodshot, Ninjak, X-O Manowar. Valiant Comics is a comic book publication created by someone named Jim Shooter. Now, you should look up that name because that name is involved with a lot of the comic history and some of the greats that you know, which is why, again, Valiant Comics and X-O Manowar at the time holds a great appreciation for me because it came at a time when comics were just becoming a little what's known as edgy. Or attitude, or extreme, because, you know, it was the 90s. For me, X-O Manowar came out in a time when I wasn't supposed to be reading those type of comics. You know, this is also, like, you gotta keep in mind, I was a wee kid, so let's say this is anime at its early to peak prime time, for the older millennials. Sci-Fi Channel was just showing anime, so you're seeing cartoons with blood and boobs, and then there's a comic with the same amount of gore, and I wasn't supposed to be reading it, but I was. And speaking of Iron Man, I've just remembered that there was a video game where both Iron Man and X-O Manowar were together. I think it was called Heavy Metal back in '96. This is one of those games where the cover looked better than the game. But it was a side-scrolling action game on PlayStation.
And we're back.
Okay,
Alrighty.
so like that was honestly one of the worst games I had ever played in my life.
Now, like I said, it was one of those where the box art looks better than the actual game. You're like, yeah, because you like Rick said, you saw it in Game Informer, you all hyped about it. Like, yeah, it's X-O Manowar and Iron Man. When did like Iron
It's
Man
a red man and a blue man throwing little balls across the screen.
So real quick, just as a touch up, if everybody if you're interested in these variant comic characters that we've done the past couple weeks, go on YouTube. Bat in the Sun did Ninjak versus the Variant Comics universe. You
Valiant.
get to see Bloodshot, Valiant, whatever the fuck, who cares? You get to see Bloodshot and you get to see X-O Manowar. Then you get to see a couple other heroes go against Ninjak, who is I don't know.
A ninja Batman.
His name is Jack and he's a ninja.
Pretty much.
Like seriously, that's
He's Ninja
that's
Batman. He's a billionaire. Like, just don't get me started on Valiant Comics just being a knockoff.
Hey, first and foremost, like I said, Jim Shooter is the creator of Valiant Comics, and you look up Jim Shooter and you realize how entangled he is in a lot of DC, Marvel, and a lot of the hits that we know and love into this day. So
yeah, I mean,
I
don't knock him, but
speaking of knocking, we gonna knock Florida out the nuke or what? Because
everybody just stay the hell out of Florida. That's
no. I'd
right
rather
now,
have them go to Florida, contaminate yourselves, cross
and stay down there. Don't come back up here.
Yeah. Spring break forever.
Right now are losing Florida. And it's mainly that Generation X people. It's Gen X.
Gen Z.
There's Z.
And ain't no millennials down there celebrating spring break.
Nah.
Like Joe, like I haven't thought about spring break since like they used to advertise it on MTV back in the day. Like that was the last time I cared about spring break.
You know why we? Hold on. You know why we ain't thinking about spring break? Because niggas got bills.
Yeah.
Niggas got shit together. We got responsibilities. I'm
over
thinking
here-
about no fucking spring break.
Like us millennials, we got to think twice before we even take a vacation time. Because I'm a manager, I'm like, damn. If I
And then
leave,
as a parent, just being spring break. Oh shit, we got the kids here sitting there for another week.
Oh no.
Maybe I should just ship them off to my parents. So I mean, we ain't thinking about that shit.
That's just great. Like I don't understand. Like they're actually complaining
At
that
least
people are
Doja
shutting
says if they
things
die,
down.
they die.
You said what?
What? All right, I can't.
They die. They
Sounds like a bunch of
If they die,
Gotta,
they die.
gotta, gotta
No, this
Throw the
Darwinism
towel,
is
man.
best.
Throw in the damn towel.
Like they should all be wiped off the face of their. Like Florida should
You
just have
sound
them all
like a
go down
boomer.
there,
You sound like a boomer.
saw it
man.
off like a Looney Tunes cartoon, and let it
Yeah,
float off.
that was the Bugs Bunny joint. Yeah.
Yes.
So like I said earlier, I tweeted about the people from in Florida or the college students, the Gen Zers down there for spring break. And the one that pisses me off the most is the guy who's just like, if I get corona, I get corona. It's not gonna get away with me partying. What the fuck are you talking about? So you don't even give a shit about your grandparents or your parents because you're gonna get the shit and then you're gonna take it back to them, and they're gonna be the ones that actually end up getting hurt from this. You selfish son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Like
this is a migratory celebration. So all these people are gonna go back home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're the reason why we're gonna be under martial law at some point.
Yeah.
I really wish people could spell that correctly because I'm so tired. All right, so martial law.
It's MARTIAL, not MARSHALL.
This is not Tekken 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, I said this isn't next to TJ
I'm
Maxx.
guilty.
We all know. Yeah, we all know you were guilty because you're all thinking like,
this is air martial law. Texas martial law.
Right, martial law. Oh God.
Oh man.
What's
Martial.
next? Wait, what's next? TJ Maxx.
Oh God.
Yeah, Marshalls. This law has great deals.
Hey Cam, you put up that meme that you put up that when everybody starts talking about martial law is just the greatest thing ever.
Like anytime I'm going through my whole timeline, anytime I see it misspelled, I just throw in a comment of the actual Tekken character in martial law. So if you're like martial law, I'd be like, what's up? Like, I just throw that in there.
What's that? XXX circle X?
I just toss it in there and then just don't even look back. And they're all confused. Couple of laugh reacts. Someone likes and then like some very confused. Why is he throwing Tekken characters? Like, don't worry about it. Apparently, you don't get it.
Hold on. Rayshawn Wells said, sounds like a bunch of hate to me because he's a Floridian. Fuck Florida.
All right.
Rayshawn Wells.
We're not hating Florida. We're hating spring breakers going to Florida.
Yeah.
And then ruining Florida for the rest of y'all. So what you should
that's-
say, we're not haters of Florida. We're haters of the Florida man. We're haters of these Gen Zs who are going to Florida.
Hold on.
I get it.
Cam, I got you. I'm gonna surmise it for you. Period. We're not haters of all of that shit. We're haters of morons. We're haters of idiots.
Thank you.
That's what we're haters of.
Thank you.
Yes. Stupidity.
By the way,
that is best.
and also just to let you
Idiocracy.
know, it doesn't have
we all
anything where
love
it's
Miami.
everybody loves Miami. Oh God, I miss it so much.
Yeah.
It's just stupid ass people being stupid ass people. I mean, when you see people saying like, yeah, I paid, I made my payments 2-3 months ago. Okay, cancel that shit. Save it for another day. Just stop being a dumbass.
I just had to cancel a $1,200 trip to fucking Vegas. You know why? Because the strip is not lit anymore. It looks like a ghost
Shut the
town.
lights off.
And we're not talking about lit like a party atmosphere. It's
like all of
darkness.
the neon from the strip is gone. It is gone. And I just had to cancel the shit. You don't hear me bitching and complaining about it. Look, so what? I want people to be safe. I want people to live on.
So Vegas actually does look like Fallout right now.
It does.
yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, Fallout New Vegas. That's dope.
He is so excited about martial law right now. It's not even funny. Dude is practically salivating. He's practically salivating.
Listen,
Guys, whenever somebody
battle
says
like-
martial law, we have to treat it like the Kumite on Boondocks.
listen, Trey, leave me alone. I prepared for this my whole life.
Oh my God.
You really
telling y'all
actually
right now,
have
we
prepared.
in quarantine.
Hold on. Hold on.
No,
Man,
don't,
we get
don't,
quarantined.
don't.
You gotta move around
We
a
gotta
little
finish
bit.
this comic book.
No, Rick.
We don't
Rick,
need to see your arsenal.
Rick, no one cares. This
No.
is not a dick measuring contest.
No,
It's really not.
stop.
Cool. That's cool. Cool knife,
That's
bro.
a knife. That's
Cool.
a knife.
Cool knife, bro.
Crocodile Dundee over here.
Exactly.
Crocodile.
El Dundee.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
So what else we got, man?
You know
Yeah,
what? But you know what's funny to me? I got up and started moving around, and literally all of y'all knew exactly what I was going to get.
We know you. Like we're not complete
Literally
strangers
my
here.
entire life.
We're not
Literally.
complete strangers here, man.
Oh man. So besides
Hold on, I'm
doomsday
missing
prepping and corona
Let's talk
prepping,
about
I'm missing
this
the knife.
what was on your social distancing list on your groceries? Like what did you have to get? What could you not live without?
Well, I know for damn sure wasn't no beef noodles, Trey. Nasty ass
You know
beef
what?
noodles.
They're not nasty. They're actually good.
Trey,
It's just you niggas. Like, come on now. You just want to get chicken. I just want some chicken noodles. That's all I want in my bowl.
Trey.
There's other flavors of noodles out there, dude.
Yes, I know
We
there are
know.
other flavors. You know what? I've lived with you, Trey. I've seen you cook beef noodles, cutting up pieces of Slim Jim, acting like you putting some accents in that shit.
I have never put a Slim Jim.
Are you? Trey.
Hey, you said cutting up pieces of Slim Jim. God damn.
I seen it too. Now that you bring it up.
He's treating shit like he's a hookup in jail.
I put leftover hamburger. I put leftover steak. No, I ain't never put no damn.
No,
Slim Jim.
Trey.
Slim Jim.
Trey, I've lived. Trey, EO. I'm sorry, off camera guy.
Yeah.
Verify, please.
Yes, I have seen him put beef jerky in the rock.
That's beef jerky. That's not a Slim Jim,
Dude.
It's the same shit.
It's
It's
not.
the same thing. What are you talking about?
That's like saying.
You put in Slim Jims. Like, seriously,
Trey,
every single
Trey,
time
you're
you
making
make
me
a,
really mad
you just
right now.
snap it to a
Oh
Slim
my
Jim.
God.
You're making me really mad right now, Trey. With that, like, it's not a.
It's not the same
Pick
thing.
your mic up, Cam.
Dude.
You're making me real mad, Trey. Trey, you're making me real mad right now. That was.
What are you gonna do?
I will cough on you. Act like I don't know where you live.
Anyway, it was not a damn Slim Jim. Okay, that's all I got to say.
Tell me what other noodles.
but-
Okay,
Kaylee-
first of all, I'm
Kaylee
gonna
said
stop
beef jerky adjacents.
I'm gonna stop all y'all right now.
What?
Y'all eating like top
Your mic up.
ramen? What are y'all eating? Like top ramen shit? What else? What y'all be
Man,
eating? Top
sure.
ramen? Yeah, a cup of noodles. Yo, step y'all game up, yo. Step all y'all games up right here. Like this right here. That's some good shit right here. I got what else I got you?
Let's say
What is
Mad
that?
Tasty.
This right here.
It's
Yeah,
the one with spices.
This right
He
here.
can't-
With
That's
the
it right
flavor.
here.
You fucking
It's the
pronounce
flavor,
it.
not that bullshit
Look
that
at
you get that everybody's taking
You
at
don't-
the whole entire store. You gotta
You
go
don't
and get
need
the jump.
you don't need to know how to pronounce it to know it tastes good.
Thank you, Cam.
Well,
Yeah,
Thank
you do.
wubble up
No, you don't.
a dub dub.
Well, can you read them to
Wubble
us?
up a
Because
dub
you're not
dub.
holding them on camera very.
I don't need.
Wubble up a dub
There's
dub.
no
He
name.
just grabbing bags of shit.
Sorry, y'all don't need to know to read this.
Bull cheese. What the hell is bull cheese?
It's better than
It's
Organic.
good. Just try it.
It's
Everybody's
better than
sitting there
beef jerky.
taking up all the chicken noodles and the beef and shrimp
Organic
noodles.
fruit snacks.
That's
Aaron
all well and
LaGrange
good.
doesn't know what the hell is going on here. We're having an argument about noodles in a time of crisis because
y'all-
they don't like beef noodles. Apparently, I put
And
them
you
a
over
proper
here,
poll
and you over
earlier.
here, and you over here, like having a cup of noodles and shit, just adding like half a cup of water, thinking you surviving.
You know, I didn't know there was.
Nigga, I'm
different
over my
brands of
mama
noodles.
house. I'm eating good.
Is she
I
ser-
didn't
Is
know
she
that-
ser-
I didn't-
All right? Is she serving beef noodles?
No.
What cut up pieces?
Hey, you
What
know
kind
my
of
mama
piece-
can cook.
What cut up pieces of Slim
Boy,
Jim?
Cam talking trash about you.
Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Oh, that is dirty tactics, yo.
You in trouble? You in trouble?
That is some
man.
dirty ass tactics,
Uh-oh.
man.
Dystopian noodles.
All right,
Yo.
so now I want to let the audience know that we're actually having a conversation about noodles. We planned this. This isn't just something
Yes,
that's
this is
going off
like-
the cuff.
This is what
Yes.
Corona would do to you.
And
No,
Cam-
but I'm gonna tell you right
before the
now, he
show-
got me real heated with that whole like, oh, you put a piece of Slim Jim. It was not Slim Jim, it was beef jerky.
It was beef jerky.
It's the
Was it-
same
I was
thing.
exper-
All right.
Listen.
What was- What was
Listen.
the brand?
Let Trey talk. Let Trey talk.
Go ahead,
I
Trey.
was experimenting with something new. You've only seen me do it once. I've tried different stuff.
Off camera guy?
It didn't work out. It didn't work out too well. So I'll admit that I did it.
Off camera guy?
Never did it again.
He said he only did it once. I live with him. You've known him longer. We between both of us, we both pretty much known him for a good while. Off camera guy.
When I saw it was when you guys were living together. Remember, I was still in school in Florida, so I actually only saw it happen once. That's the most I can contest to.
Gregory White Slim Jim is not beef jerky. Shut up.
It is the same shit.
It's not. It's not made by the same people. It wasn't advertised by Macho Man Randy Savage. It's not the same damn thing. I did it one time. I hated it, and I never did it again. End of discussion.
I don't believe it.
So in the comments, not only for the live, but also for the later YouTube upload. I mean, what's your favorite ramen? What's your favorite ramen flavor? We already put the poll up for people to vote. But
chicken.
My favorite flavor, mine is actually shrimp.
Chicken,
see, that's respectable.
See, the thing is, like, I can eat beef ramen noodles if there was nothing else. If the better one wasn't there, if I had no choice, and I'm still mad you tried to throw your mom in and literally just lied on television. Everybody knows.
Right
fan base know that Trayman Hainsworth, aka Trey Proper, lied on me to his mama. Now that is definitely like low ball.
Kamala Jama Caldwell just called out my entire government name.
Hell yeah.
Here we go.
You just told your mom I was talking shit about her cooking. Which I did not do.
This is what happens when you've been stuck in one place for a week. When all you can do is go to work and go home. This is what happens.
Like, I can't have any fun.
Now that Rick brought that up, can we just talk for a moment? Ain't nobody been stuck anywhere.
You're right.
People are losing their damn minds.
Yes. Parents are losing their damn mind just because kids are running around the house.
No.
Just
parents,
the other day, I had to make sure that my son runs out the house and just runs up and down. Just to tire him up.
Off camera.
Listen, I take all apologies.
All right. So Rick is a teacher. I want to hear his perspective. Off camera guy, go. I want to hear yours too, real quick.
I mean, I'm technically still an educator. I've passed my teaching certificate. But my kids are awesome. Cool.
Okay.
So,
all right, Trey.
real quick,
what's it like you would hanging out with your kid for like a week straight?
Well, so he's been with his mom for the last week. I'm a co-parent, so I've just been going to work and coming home. Now it's my week to have him, so we're about to find out during the coming week.
Did you delouse him?
Yes.
Chill out, yo.
No, listen, yo. No jokes. You walk into the dealership. If you're questionable, we shove you into the smallest sports car we have and spray you down before we interact. And I wasn't even the one to put that in place. I'm so proud of some of my coworkers.
What movie was that? That was Super Troopers?
Yes, it was Super Troopers.
All right. Hey, Herb. What's your Mr. Bridges? What's going on with you and your
jeez.
being home? He's like what, a 6-year-old now?
Yes, Miles is 6, and don't get me wrong, I love my child, and he's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. But all that energy bottled up in a 6-year-old running up and down the steps, going around. No, go outside. We're sitting out there drinking. Go ahead and run up and down.
I love energy.
Energy. I love energy.
You're an asshole, okay? But yes, he has bottled up energy that we had him running up and down because he loves Sonic. Because when I took him to see the Sonic movie, he just had this infatuation with Sonic. Sonic goes up and down the street, go up and down, up and down, up and down. So to the point to where he's literally just tired. And I'm just, okay, cool. You want to run some more? Let's go.
So you know what you should do? You should you should try to find an old Sega Genesis and get him the game and just let him play Sonic.
Have it. We already have Sonic, the first Sonic on his tablet.
I'll give you a better idea so that he goes to sleep. Get him a pair of red shoes and say go outside and say gotta go fast. And just let his ass run.
Already done it. He's already done it.
I love running.
You guys are assholes. Seriously. You guys are assholes.
Hey Maestro, as a teacher, how are you feeling? How's spring break treating you with what's going on? Because educators are definitely suffering.
So as a teacher, I'll tell you this: it's good to have the break, but all this in the back of my mind the whole time is, all right. So before this whole thing happened, we were working on calculating tax and tip. You know what I mean? I work with special needs students, so I teach them real world applicable math, science, English, and all of that stuff, right? So we were working on how to calculate being able to tip and calculate your bill, right? We had been working on it for a month straight, and some of them were just now beginning to get it. They was just now beginning to make the connection, right? I know for a fact in this week alone, they've lost all of it. They have lost all. I'm thinking about that's the part that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the bigger picture of them being able to retain this information.
So
I went on
what about like they don't take home homework or like online courses?
I'm glad that you said that. So at the beginning of the day, on that Friday before school was supposed to be out, we were told to put together packets, put together assignments for Google Classroom. We did all this throughout the whole day, right? 2:30 comes, we put the kids on the buses to send them home. An emergency email comes out. Everybody's phones and whatever is going crazy. Emergency email to check it. It says we are not to upload any assignments or to change any grades for the next 2 weeks while this whole thing is going on. Everybody responds, "Why? What are you talking about?" No response.
After you just told us to do this,
right? No response. Nothing. No, nothing of that. And it's actually as somebody who's very empathetic and who cares a lot about my kids. I love my kids. Like, I know this is hard to believe for some of the people that actually know me in our personal life. I love my kids to death.
It's not hard to believe. We know you.
I would give anything. I would give anything for them. And the fact that, you know what I mean, we can't even put any more assignments or even check in with them on Google Classroom, it's kind of driving me nuts. That's why I'm in here working out like I'm in prison, because it really is just driving me crazy, because I'm worried about my kids, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with them. Most of their parents are like, I'm sorry if I offend anybody with this. Most of their parents don't really understand the information that we give to them or understand what's trying to be taught to them. And so I know they're not doing anything with them, and I know they're just suffering. So this is driving me crazy. This is why I'm drinking like this.
Again, like I said, I have no idea about how the education is going to work, especially
I don't think. Can I chime in on this one?
Go ahead,
please.
I mean, my mother's been.
It's not like you're going to show up.
My mother's been an educator for over 20 years, and I actually had a customer. We had this very conversation yesterday. Customer, she works in Baltimore City schools, all places. But I mean, some people, they're like, we don't feel sorry for the parents who don't care. And for the parents that do care, it's like, they're going to get that job done. She said some parents pick up the packet and you're like, you're not getting that packet back.
Right.
And I mean, because we sat there and we were talking about it, because Rick, are you 10-month or 12-month? I don't know, but 10, educators know what that means. I'm 10. I was a tutor for a long time and substitute work here. Just talking about it. I was raised by an educator. My children, we care about their education.
Yeah,
but I'm still struggling. We're still struggling to get this packet done, because also I enjoy spending time with my kids. But my kids are also very self-motivated in different ways. One is the artist, one is the aspiring scientist. So, one practically taught himself how to read, one is teaching herself how to draw. So it's the dynamics are working out.
That Miles has over here too.
The dynamics are working out in a very strange way. So it's just like, what state what are they going to be in when they get back? It's going to be a mess. It's a mess.
It is.
Yeah.
So I have to ask this, because like I said, I have no idea how this is going to work out, because honestly, I don't think even the Board of Education or whoever knows how this is going to work out. But like, does this mean that you have to start over? Are y'all continuing the year like via satellite? Like, I mean,
and that's actually a good question, because I know Kansas actually completely just stopped the year at the end of the year. Like right now, there's no more school for the rest of the year. My dad's an educator as well, so I mean, it is kind of like weird just how this whole entire break is going to just mess everything up for education. So I mean, go ahead.
What's the comment section looking like right now? As far as anyone asking questions too?
Jamaica says, I work in PG County. Majority of my kids come from families where English is not the spoken language at home. I'm afraid that many of them will lose a lot of the information, so I'm just hoping they get something. Chuck says, I dislike that they're undoing your hard work and progress with your kids, Rick. I'm sorry. Off camera girl says, if I hear what's for lunch or dinner. You know what's for lunch? Really?
What a damn
your blue cheese.
Oh, hey, snap it to a Slim Jim and have Uncle Trey.
You know I can cook. I don't wait to hear your shit. You know I can cook. Anyway.
I can see now 4th of July putting beef jerky on the grill.
That's actually the hey, times is hard, man.
Listen. Hold on, real quick, Trey. I got your back on this. Trey, I got your back on this. There is no way in hell at the 4th of July that any beef jerky would be allowed to eat into anything. We would have a familial riot. Riot.
So y'all have to come out to my family's 4th of July thing one year.
No. My 4th of July.
This shit is starting to feel like Bird Box out here. I'm not bullshitting.
1 year.
Huh?
This is really starting to feel like Bird Box out here, where ain't nobody trying to go outside.
Really
All right, guys, we gotta wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
Really. All right, guys. So any last comments, concerns? We didn't do the phone calls because, of course, that'd be a whole lot to put on our off-camera guy to handle the calls.
And I would also like to say shout out to he really is over here commanding.
Yeah, off-camera guy put this whole thing together. He made this whole thing work. So yeah, everybody take a drink, whatever you're drinking.
You can hold your hand, do like this too. It's cool.
Or if you whatever, just make sure it's not water.
Even if it's water, we got to close this out.
Yeah.
Hey, this actually was a pretty good show, guys. Though, for real. Because honestly, I'm used to just all of us being there at the same time. So I actually told Talani, I don't know how.
You're too close, man. You're too close.
You're too close, man. You know what I'm enjoying about this? My personal space.
Whoa. Hey, who's around me right now? Who's around me?
You know what I'm enjoying about this, though? You know what I'm enjoying about this right now? Because I still hate a lot of you all. I don't have to be with you all right now. I can literally just go like this, and I'm out.
Wow. Oh, I thought he hung up for real. Oh. All right, guys. Let's close this thing out, man.
All right, y'all.
All right.
As we always do. Up to it.
A second. Down to it. All right, ready?
Up to it. Down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we're used to it. Drink, motherfucker,
drink.
And as always, go on blurredandwhiskey.com. Like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms. And then we'll see you guys later.
On the floors. Blurs and Whiskey.
Come on, OCG.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blurs and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blurredsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.